Hello, 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 hello. Copy that, copy that, copy that. Okay, I think we got it. Let me do an Instagram post, and then we can start drawing. I need a bot for this or something. Copy link. Copy link. Stream is live. Story. Okay. Okay. Hey Sören. Hey Dodo. Hey Moritz, was geht ab? Jetzt habe ich es mir gemerkt. I need somebody to read all these chats. Most definitely. How's everyone doing? Let me put Instagram there. Okay, TikTok is here. Oh, Jesus Maria. Okay. Let's close this. Okay, let's close this. Okay. How's everybody doing? How are you all doing? Okay. Let's do this. Dun, dun, dun. Gleich Gym, geil. Hey Sartak, how are you? Ja, geh mal ins Gym, mach mal, ist gut. Ist gut, ist gut, ist gut. Das ist gut. Okay. Ähm, wie würdest du mit Gouache starten? Wahrscheinlich einfach mit einem Fotoref drauf los. Nee, mit Gouache würde ich tatsächlich erstmal anfangen zu üben, wie man Farben mischt und auch ein Gefühl für die Deckkraft zu kriegen, weil Gouache ein bisschen anders ist. Hey Samuel, how's it going? Hey Akash, how are you? Genau. Und da erstmal ein Gefühl für die Deckkraft zu kriegen. Und ich würde mit Gouache vor allem relativ grafisch arbeiten. Also, dass du, wenn du versuchst, Sachen zu painten, versuch nicht krasse Gradients zu erzeugen. Versuch mehr flächig zu arbeiten. Also versuch einfach immer grundsätzlich mit den Midtones zu arbeiten. Dass du versuchst, den richtigen Midtone, die richtige Farbe zu mischen und dann wirklich mit Shapes arbeiten hauptsächlich. Yo, Doom, what's up? How are you? Hey, yo, what's up? How's it going? How was your week, folks? How was the week? Hi, what language are you speaking? German, English. Not really sure if I can speak a bit of French to your need, depending on what you're asking. Horrible, I got rejected by a girl that I like, couldn't stop crying for some reason. Oh damn, sorry to hear that. But don't cry about people who don't want you. Like, they don't deserve you. If they don't want you, don't cry about it. Is that thing working here? Yeah, okay. That works, let me check. Hey Hiroki, how are you? I just found your stream. I was doom scrolling and I heard you talk a different language and got curious. Ah, okay. What language are you speaking? Hi, do you paint or just drawing? I also paint. Not sure if I paint today. I have to grab the paints behind me then. Hey Carlos, my friend, how are you doing? I just came to left my like, Master Janosch. Oh. This is what I call maximum support. Appreciate you, appreciate you. How was your day? Was it good? Hey Varun, thank you for the YouTube sub. Appreciate it. Dun, 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 dun. Hey Wiesen, no, thank you. I have somebody already. Thank you so much. But appreciate the offer. Thanks, Varun. We just started. Just need to make sure that it's not getting too hot in my room again. Otherwise the camera goes off like last time. That was quite funny. Didn't expect that to happen. Okay. Hi, Janosch. I want to ask. So there's a thing that I do where every day I have to do 60 gestures in 1 hour. And I was wondering, how do I tackle faces and portraits? I don't know how to start. So the best way to tackle faces in quantity is by setting yourself a certain amount of number that you want to do. So what I always recommend, especially if you somebody who has like a sketchbook, so one sec. So if you have a sketchbook, what I would do, let me grab this sheet here. So if you have a sketchbook, right, and you have an, let's say you have one of these A5 Moleskine sketchbooks, that's what I've done. I would try to draw maybe 5 to maximum 10 heads per page. Because if that's A5, the size of the heads can be gigantic, but they also can be too small. So the goal is to use the full page here. And then you organize. So what you do is you prepare your day where you gather references first. So on the day before you gather references, so that you don't have to do that on the day where you want to practice this. So let's say you come in and you know, okay, I have 1 hour today, so you're prepared. That's really important. And then you go in, and while you look at all the reference, also think about how you would arrange and organize these heads on the page, and not going blindly into the drawing. Really think about, okay, what head on the reference do I see from below, for example, right? So is there one head where is C basically the head from below? And is there one which is basically left to right, right? So maybe it goes from right to left or left to right. And then also maybe it has like a really cool silhouette. So this one I would put basically in this corner here. Kind of like a hook, or like a corner shape, so to speak. And then when I look at the page, then I'm kind of like organizing in my head already, okay, where do I want to put all these heads? And then I try to make like trying to figure out how many heads I want to put in, and have like a relatively continuous size for these heads, with the premise of keeping the quality as high as possible, right? We always want to chase quality. Quantity should come through the repetition of quality. Yeah, and that's how I would do. Problem with gestures is that gesture is cool, it makes you lose and stuff, you know, but the problem is you have to have a transition. Okay, that's awesome. That exactly happened what I predicted. One second. So I have to entertain you all without the camera. That's obviously amazing for the Instagram and TikTok stream, because I think they don't see my face. Yeah, so the camera just went off because it got too hot. So I'm just gonna answer some questions. I hope that helps, by the way. We are back in a moment. We just need to let the camera cool for a second. I predicted it, but I don't know. Does anyone know how to turn off the live chat in short stream? I can't see him draw. Okay, I don't know. Janosch, my friend, for your mentorship, would you recommend which one to start with for a beginner? Say I've been drawing for 51 days, seriously focus in the perspective. Hey Hiroki, sorry, the camera just went off. It just needs to cool. I just opened the window. It will be back in a moment. Unfortunately, it got very warm because it's so close to the softbox. And I actually cooled the room down, but apparently that wasn't enough. So I apologize. Yeah, it probably will be back in a moment, I guess. Like, give me 30 to 60 seconds. I think then it's cool again. So coming back to the mentorship question, if you're a beginner and if you just draw for 51 days, to be honest, it doesn't make a big difference if you go for basic or mini Menti. You can even go for intensive, because the difference from basic to intensive is that we see that we have like the core call, which is 1 hour every 2 weeks, so we just see us more often. Yeah, it's an issue with the temperature. But yeah, that shouldn't change anything. I would say that if you low on budget, so if you don't have much money and you also never done a mentorship, you can apply for the mini Menti. But I want to say for the mini Menti, I only have 4 slots and you have to apply for it. So you have to go on the website and go do the intro chat and also let me know that you want to do the mini Menti, because I only take 4 people for the smaller slot. Hope that answers your question. Okay, let's try to get the camera back. It's kind of like -6 out there, so it should be enough to cool down the camera. Let's see. And we are back. Nice. The question is, does the signal come back to Instagram? I wonder. This is really unfortunate. This just happened. Oh yeah, it comes back. Nice. Nice. Awesome. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Carlos. So again, it doesn't change anything. If you beginner, if you're intermediate, it doesn't really matter. Because I have to make the program for you anyways, you know. So like mentorship isn't a course; it's designed for you specifically for your needs. So if you're intermediate, the level and the task I give you is much higher, and the loop is much faster. Versus if you're a beginner, right? Because if you're a beginner, we go through more fundamental stuff. I don't let you do complicated stuff before you can't do the basics. That's obvious. Hey, iStuff, if you're still here, any good tips for drawing heads looking down? And there's the Christmas music. I love it. Why do we always have the Christmas music? I also keep the window open for a moment, even though it's freezing, so the camera's not dying. Okay, any tips for drawing the heads looking down? I would say, I would be that brave to say that drawing heads looking down is easier than the opposite, so heads looking up. The important part is that you have to understand that when the head is turning downwards, that when we have the front of the face, right? Nose, so nose, right? Now, then, when this is turned downwards, that the forehead area gets bigger, the eyes are partially hidden. Can I zoom in more? The eyes are partially hidden. Then the nose comes out more, and the mouth is hidden by the nose partially. This is really important to understand when you draw heads looking down. So it's really about the overlap of elements. So it's literally like this. Let me draw a bit bigger. Okay, it's literally like this. I don't know if you have seen my episode on the stacking exercise, where you're practicing literally stacking objects on top of each other. That's technically really how it is when you try to draw the face looking downwards, because it's the overlap that's created plus the foreshortening that's happening. Otherwise, if angled looking downward is too hard for you, start with the frontal, where like you're looking at the head kind of like from the front, and then it looks downwards. All you need to figure out is that there's kind of like these curves. And that the chin comes together downwards. I hope that answers your question. If not, let me know. Okay. Do you also work in animation industry? Are you an indie artist? I'm not an indie artist, and I don't know if I can say I worked in the... Yeah, I worked in animation, but in 3D animation, not in 2D. Because every time I hear animation industry, I think about 2D. But 3D is also animation industry, so... Okay, let me close the window, it's so too cold. Oh, freezing. It's a freezing in Germany. It's cold. Cold, cold, cold. Nice phone, nice. Hey, Gay Fairy, thank you. Do you have any tips on how to draw faces straight on to keep them symmetrical? Well, I mean, to keep them symmetrical, that's more an act of control, I would say. So if you have trouble to place an eye symmetrical on on the opposite of another eye, I would say that's an act of hand-eye coordination of you, and I don't know. My only tip there is draw more and practice more. Thanks, Hiroki. I struggle with symmetrical face drawing. Yeah. You can try to, I don't know what you use. If you use a pencil, then you can grid the face where you make a grid before, So just drawing on a grid. When it's frontal, make a grid for your face. And wherever the stuff is placed, then you can work symmetrically, Like this. Is that the right pen? Yeah. So everyone who's watching on TikTok or Instagram, come over to YouTube. Come over to YouTube. Or come over to Twitch. We're also on Twitch. If you want to, of course. I'm happy that you learned something, Varun. Even though it wasn't really a big of a tip, let's see, that's really the hot thing. If you struggle with building something up symmetrical, it's really about control, So just keep practicing. You can do it. It's just a matter of practicing. Hey Muzan, sup, how you doing? How was your week? Yo, can you try draw JoJo style, sculpture style, drawing something? Can you break it down? You know what? Like you kind of like first of all, welcome to the stream, Star Fox, and thank you for asking. I just had this conversation with my hairdresser this week. Like people always ask me to draw JoJo, or they say like my style of fashion looks like JoJo. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of JoJo. I watched the first season, like 3-4 episodes, but I couldn't take it because it was so over the top. So I can think, if your question is how to break down JoJo in order that you can learn from it, that's something I think I have to prepare. I don't know if I can like do it on a stream. You have 2 streams going on? I have 4 streams going on, Varun. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. Oh, there's a question on Instagram. 1 second. Hey there, have you tried digital drawing? It feels weird to draw on a slippery surface. How do you people even get used to it? What device are you using? Carcast King. Do we have any questions on TikTok? Hey Heidi. Hey Shanis. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Guten Abend, Heidi. Thank you for the flowers. Danke für die Blumen, Elham. Fröhliches Ramadan. Fröhliches Fastenbrechen. Canvas, Huon? Well, the thing is, it really depends on what you use, because there are some devices which are really nice for drawing. Like the X Pen I had is pretty nice. The 24 Gen 2 by X Pen had really nice surface. Also, all the Wacom Intuos things have really good surfaces. But for example, I don't like to draw on an iPad because for me it always feels like glass. So there is like also this paper foil that you can try. Otherwise, you have to get used to it, you know. Like I never had a Huion, so I don't really know, you know. I can't really tell. I see, didn't know, thank you. Yeah, and everyone on Instagram, everyone on TikTok, feel free to come over to our YouTube, by the way. Because if you write in chat, I might not see it, just saying. Thanks for the question. Oh, we have so many questions. I won't draw today, I guess. Let me scroll the chat. Giving Natalie Portman vibes. True. Can you draw in sculpture style? Sculpture style means that I would use a lot of strokes to build up the form. I can do that, but I don't want to do that now. Yeah, Hiroki, is JoJo that good to really go through that? Because it's so over the top. And it's like, I'm really down for really stupid jokes and flat jokes, but I don't know if I can really take it, you know? Thank you, Star Fox. Maybe I can do JoJo one day, or at least kind of like break it down for you if you want to. What is sculpture style? It's like drawing a box chiselly and down. No, it's more like, from what I know, what sculpture style is like, you build up planes with a lot of stroke, right? So if you would draw, that's something that I done with pencil, but it's basically, let's say you draw a face. Right, so you draw, I don't know. Let's quickly draw a face. Tuk, 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 tuk. Like this. And then what you would do is you would kind of like define the planes in the face with a lot of strokes, right? So because there are a lot of planes and plane changes, right? So like here, for example, and here, and then you would go in here, and then you would literally just like try to communicate all the planes you have in the face. I think with ink it's a bit tricky because you have to create like a lot of layers of stuff, you know? I think it's better made for pencil. But you see what's happening? It gets like super noisy when I do this now. But you basically define all the planes and the direction of the planes by using your medium. And I love this when I did it with pencil, because it's a really cool way to learn values also. Building up like value ranges with pencil. Or doing it with hair, for example. Like this. And then you kind of like sculpt out the form while using and adding tones to it. But it's also a style that you need to like, you know? Oh my god, chat is moving so fast. Do you have any tips, tutorials on how to learn draw anatomy over mannequins? I'm struggling a lot with that. The thing is, the mannequin is great for landmarks and stuff, but eventually you have to go a bit away from it, you know, because when you start with the mannequin, you learn how the relationship between body parts are and how you connect them. But the problem is if you follow the mannequin too much, your poses are always very stiff. So it maybe is not the best advice, but I would say try to forget what you know about mannequins so far. Try to forget it as much as possible and just try to draw the figure in itself. You know, because for example, you learn the gesture, right? But the gesture is not only there to get a feeling for the flow and feeling for capturing something fast. It's also to utilize specific lines and specific motions of a pose. So that's why I would say the gesture in the figure drawing is even more useful than the mannequin itself. I think you could learn to draw the figure with just a gesture and form building without using the mannequin. Hey, the Twitch link. Hey, I changed this. Why isn't it the right link to my Twitch? Wait, that's annoying. Yeah, it's because I changed my name. Hey HDMZ, what's up, my friend? How are you? How was your week? Seeing what's going on here on Twitch. Wait, let me drop in. Can I drop in my Twitch in here? Is that possible? Do you think Bernie Wrightson did sculpture drawing style? The thing is, I don't know what he thought. He was amazing in the things he was doing in terms of how to communicate volume using ink. So maybe he was thinking like this, but also maybe he was also thinking a lot in shapes in the form, you know? So like, I can't really tell. JoJo's cool and the art style, fashion state to watch. Okay. Yeah. So for Twitch, just type in my name. It's because I changed my name. I changed the username that I had before to my name, and I actually thought I changed it also in my description, but like it's probably I forgot to change it in my streaming software. I have to write this down. You don't need to watch the latest parts. Okay. Okay. Let him enjoy the whole plot of the anime, not jumping straight to JoJo's. Okay, okay. If I watch JoJo, I watch it all. This is smoldering, but in Twitch, lol. Okay. Hey Smolder, how are you? How was your week? Okay, this is really too much, like 4 different streams. Like I need somebody to read all the questions so I can actually draw. Okay. You multitask, yeah. Yes, of course, I'm a Baki fan. Let's go Baki. Yeah, will you stream in one app? It's easier for you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But sometimes you also get more people into the stream, which is nice, you know? Can you tell if this lady drinks dirt cheap coffee, high expensive espresso? Okay. Yeah, I think Shaman wants a little ban. I think so. I think you want to go. I think he wants to go. I think he wants to go. No problem. And auf Wiedersehen. Bye bye. Oh yeah, she's gone, so no worries. Like these trolls, they're coming in over YouTube short stream, so something we have to live with. So I didn't watch JoJo, I just watched the first one, if that question is for me. Dun dun dun. How are you doing? Hey Ron, how are you? How's the new studio going? It's going great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for asking. I'm having a good day. Yeah, it was very productive, very busy. I was recording a little drawing course that I'm gonna release next week, hopefully, when it's done. Hey Carver family, how are you doing? Thank you. Thanks for joining. Did you guys face the YouTube outage? What? What YouTube outage? Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. Hey, what is face? How disciplined would you say you have to be into drawing regular during your development as an artist? I think the discipline in itself is relatively important. I don't know if you want to see. The thing is, like, some people, they can see drawing and the continuation and continuous practice as training, right? If you have this mindset, I think that's going to serve you very well. But if you're a person who struggle with the thought of like discipline yourself to do art, I think having this as a mindset is really harmful for you, because you need to enjoy the process, and it should be more of a natural process of making art, you know, so that you're coming up with ideas, you're having fun, these kind of things, you know. So I think if you want to do art seriously as a job, and if you want to develop your skills, you have to spend a lot of time. So for that, you should have regular practice, and you should have like a relatively strong approach when it comes to drawing. and also like a regular approach. But I think you don't need to beat up yourself if you do not draw so much as you think you should, you know? There are always like the difference between like what's your real expectation versus your actual expectation. Very nice lines. Thank you so much, Lucian. Thanks you so much. Folks, hey David, how are you? What's up? I think I have to open the window again because camera giving me signal. It's getting warm again. So let's get some heat out there. From 2 days ago, YouTube homepage didn't work for short-term. I didn't got that. Yeah, that went away. Hey Annie Learn Journey, welcome to stream. How are you? I'm just drawing random stuff, just doodling and answering questions mostly. Hey Heidi, thank you so much. Dankeschön. I love your cooking, Heidi. Just back at you. Hey Faruk, was geht ab? What kind of project would you like to work on? Mm, uh, hmm. Back to you. Back to you this question. Like, right now, I'm pretty freaking happy with what I do, to be honest. So, I don't know if there's I don't know. Maybe some sort of retro sci-fi, maybe. I mean, I would also be curious in like working on some sort of comic or something, you know, utilizing the style that I'm doing a bit more. But I also respect the act of doing this too much. And I don't know if I could do it while I'm teaching, you know, since I teach a lot. I don't know if I could handle this again. How about you? Base chillen, das ist geil. No, I didn't open the Troll Hunter, Faruk. Didn't open it. I was so busy doing other work, didn't have any time for playing. That's the truth. That's the truth. Not lying. Was geht bei dir? Once I tried streaming while drawing, but I couldn't concentrate, so I stopped, never did that again. The end. Yeah. I know it's hard. It's not easy to stream and talk and all that at the same time. And also reading chat and like you should be as relaxed as you can. But you get used to it, you know? If you really want to do it, just try it again. Yeah, you need to be in your zone actually. It's hard. Seit Anfang des Jahres sehr gehuckt von Magic leider. Schlecht für den Geldbeutel. Macht aber Spaß. Magic the Gathering oder was meinst du? Meinst du das Game oder meinst du die Karten? Also das digitale Game. Haben die etwa auch mittlerweile Pay to Win? Das ist ja gar nicht gut. Echt, jede Company hat Pay to Win. Beides. Mehr physische Karten. Ja klar, das geht natürlich ins Geld. Oh shit, I completely forgot to look into the Twitch chat. Okay, nothing. Nothing in the Twitch chat. Nothing going on there. Oh, okay. Camera is normal temperature. Let's close the window. so, ja klar, man kann sich die auch selber printen, stimmt. Das stimmt allerdings. Macht natürlich Sinn. Besser für den Geldbeutel. Besser für den Geldbeutel. Ja, Karl hat auch viele Magic the Gathering Arbeiten gemacht, ja, stimmt. Aber ich glaube, Jesper hat noch mehr gemacht als Karl. Jesper Eising. Glaube ich zumindest. Ich könnte mich irren. Today is really a pattern day. I really want to just draw patterns. So relaxing. Let me check the chat. Die haben das neue Set damit promotet, dass die ganzen Artworks traditionell gemacht wurden. Und digitale Medien. Ja, klar, die wollten das dann ein bisschen abheben, weißt du? Hey Beam, how's it going? Welcome to the YouTube chat. Hey, fan of your work. I like how you are patient with your lines. Yes, I had to learn that. I'm usually a very can you say that? Unpatient person? Especially when it comes to drawing. Like, I'm not a good doctor. I don't have any patience, how do I say? Hey, Prop Art. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. And hey, everyone watching on Twitch. And hey everyone watching on Instagram. And hey everyone watching on TikTok. Hey Pablo, du alter Boss, was geht ab? Ja, es gibt tatsächlich Infos. Ich habe mich gestern nochmal rangesetzt und vorgestern auch. Und ich muss noch ein paar Anpassungen machen, aber wenn alles klappt, geht sozusagen nächste Woche der neue Probedruck raus und je nachdem, wie lange das dauert, wenn das dann alles so rüberkommt, weil ich weiß jetzt auch, es gab so ein paar Sachen bei dem Artbook, die mich gestört haben und mein Kumpel Fadi war gestern hier und wir haben ein bisschen drüber gesprochen und der konnte besser in Worte fassen, was mich daran gestört hat. Also das gab zum Beispiel ein paar Sachen, wenn die gedruckt wurden. Sorry, yeah. Pablo was asking for the artbook. My bad. Pablo was asking how the art book is going. So basically a book with all my sketches from the previous year, which I already test printed for the Kickstarter, but I didn't like the test print and I couldn't really figure out what it was that I didn't like. So once it was partially parts of the things which had a lot of ink, they had like stencils, like dot stencils. And I didn't know if it was from upscaling or if it was the provider, so that's why I have to test another one. Also, I upscaled some things which I think I shouldn't upscale. So some things were like small and I scaled it a bit up because I wanted to print it on A4. I changed my mind. I want to print it on A5. So yeah, Pablo, um deine Frage zu beantworten, nächste Woche gibt es auf jeden Fall Konkreteres. Aber das wird auf jeden Fall noch ein bisschen dauern, weil ich muss natürlich dann noch die Kickstarter-Kampagne starten. Da muss ich ein Video machen und so. Aber ich teile das natürlich alles auf YouTube. Keine Frage. Wie geht's dir? Wie war deine Woche? Can you switch drawing upside? Why should I do that? Why should I do that? Sometimes I do that, but I don't like that. It's weird. It's kind of like drawing a figure from the bottom upwards, you know? Who wants that? Woche war ganz gut. Deine? Ja, meine Woche war ziemlich produktiv eigentlich. Ich habe die Woche an so einem... ich wollte eigentlich ein YouTube-Video machen. Also beziehungsweise ich habe wie immer ein Skript geschrieben für ein YouTube-Video. Das ist dann ein bisschen ausgeartet und habe dann festgestellt, dass das Material eigentlich wie für einen Kurs ist. Und dann habe ich mich entschieden, ich mache da jetzt so einen kleinen Mini-Kurs, den ich auf Gumroad packe. Und genau, und den habe ich abgefilmt die Woche. Und ich bin jetzt gerade am Material schneiden. Der kommt jetzt auch bald raus. Also es war sehr produktiv. Is he changing languages mid conversation? Yes, I do. Parlez-vous français? Warum? Hola, mis queridos amigos. What language are you speaking? Hey, El Gützi. Thank you for the Twitch follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Twitch family. Appreciate it very much. If anyone has any questions, art related or anything, just shoot, ask me. That's what the stream is for. I love to answer any question. I also like to explain stuff if anything needs to be explained. Your drawing has mob. What does that mean? MOB? What does that mean? Mobius vibes. Ah, okay. How do you transition into drawing from boxes to thinking in form? That is funny that you asked this, because I just made a course about this. How do I explain this the best? Thinking in form. Okay, so let's explain this the simplest. So how do you transition from box into form the best? So I just had a little okay, no, I don't say that. So when you first we learn to draw the box, right? The box is a very safe how you say, a principle to learn, right? Because it's relatively easy to explain. That's why everyone is explaining it. But often case, we need to understand that the box is not necessarily the form itself. Sometimes it's also the outline of it, right? So it's kind of like the frame of whatever it is that we want to draw. So the box can also be the outside frame for a flower cup, for example, or a flower pot. So what you need to understand is that you need to learn the orientation of form. So that's why everyone is saying you need to draw a lot of form, which also makes sense on pages, right? So you have to fill pages with geometric forms. But this is not an exercise which you do without thinking. You need to develop some sort of three-dimensional space touching point. So what I would recommend doing is actually forcing yourself to draw from observation every day. So whatever it is that you have on your table right now, this is my opinion enforcer, right? Whenever I have an opinion, I bring this into the conversation and I can enforce my opinion, you know? So if you have also an opinion enforcer at your desk, draw it. If you have a water bottle, draw the water bottle. If you have a camera, draw the camera. And then try to understand what is the simple base construction of that object, right? So let's say you want to draw a camera. Camera is literally just a box with cylinders. A box and then cylinder, objective. That's literally a camera, right? So you need to reduce it, you need to simplify. And then you try it again, but then you try to add more detail, you try to be more concrete with the information that you're communicating. And this is a process that isn't going very fast. It's a slow process. So you have to go in and do that again and again and again and again, step by step. But try not to draw something super complicated. Keep it simple, please. Draw something super simple. Simple, simple, simple. And then you can add also maybe a microphone on top. Right? Like pretend this is a Rode microphone here. This thing. And then looking at the side and seeing like there's some cuts and there's some buttons, and step by step you adding form. That's why whenever you draw things or you learn to draw, it's important, it's absolutely necessary that you start to draw simple objects, okay? So that is really important. Really start with that. That's my answer. Otherwise, again, I'm working on a course that I'm gonna release, knocking on wood, next week. It's gonna be on Gumroad, so you can go on my website. There's gonna be a link to the Gumroad. I'm gonna sell it there. It's gonna be relatively cheap, and it's gonna be all about that. So yeah. Sorry. Let me read the questions. Which artist should I learn anatomy from? That is a really interesting question, by the way, because when you say that, that implied that you should copy other artists. You shouldn't. You should look at their decision making and maybe also their indication, but not necessarily copying these habits. You actually should draw a lot of anatomy, try to figure out a way for yourself to communicate what you try to communicate, and then you create your own anatomy in a way. If I would have to do that again, I would give myself that advice, even though I studied tons of Mobius, Kim Young-ji, Inoue Takeo. I went away from Loomis, I went away from Riley method, like all these like schematic ways. Like there's some schematic approaches of learning anatomy and then everything looks the same. I don't like that, right? I rather go into life and I study anatomy from life. So that's why I also try to stay away from anatomy books. And I'm fine with it. I'm being sturdy. I take the time. I don't study that. I do my own stuff. Even if it takes longer, I don't care. But that's what I would recommend you. Hey Led76 illustration. You came highly recommend for a potential mentorship. Is this something you do? Yes, I do this. I do mentorship on my website. There's a link to my website. I have multiple options there if you're interested. I can also answer some questions in here if you have. But whatever level you have and you come in, first I need to see what you can do right now. And elbow cloth? Okay. First I need to see what you can do. Then I test your skills depending on what you can do. And then we write a plan for you. Thanks, I've done life drawing in class, but never done my own. I definitely look at the course to appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be, I try to make it as cheap as possible. I have to make a calculation, you know, like, because half of it goes away from tax. 10% is deducted by Gumroad as well. So whatever price I do, I get the half of it. So I have to figure out what makes sense. But it won't be expensive, I promise. You're intermediate level. Oh, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, even though then, like, what I say, everyone who's interested, go on the website. We have a intro chat function. So you fill everything out there. This email goes to me and probably tomorrow, not today anymore because it's late here. I will read through it. Then we start a conversation. You send me some work examples and I figure out if I can help you and if the goal you have is realistic, right? We have to figure out that as well. If you come in and you say like, I want to be a professional artist in 6 months and I want to work on XYZ project, but I see in your skill level, that's maybe really hard to reach. I'm 100% honest. I don't sugarcoat, you know? So yeah, then we go from there. Okay, let's draw a bit more. Let's draw a bit more. I do this? Maybe I just darken it. Should I just darken it? Yeah, I just darken it. Also, happy Ramadan to everyone who is doing Ramadan. Forgot to say that. My former mentor lives in Germany now. We're good friends when I lived in Canada. Oh, nice. Do I know him? Hey, how you decide what to draw? Do you usually draw from pick, life, whatever comes to your mind? I do whatever, to be honest. Like, I just realized today that since I have a studio space again, I'm going here every day with public transport, and it's just 15-minute ride with the train, but I'm basically drawing in my sketchbook every morning and every time I go back. So I take every opportunity because sometimes it's just weird stuff. Like, people are so freaking weird, you know? So Andrew Tongi? No, I don't know. Sorry. But cool. Where do you live in Canada? But yeah, I try to draw whatever. And I think the hardest part for me when I switched to traditional, coming from concept art and working in entertainment service-based, you know, like when you work in service, somebody comes and say like, we need a concept for XYZ environment, for this character, for this project. So you always get a provided outline and a story. But when you do traditional art or anything like sketching and whatnot, you're on your own. Like, it's kind of like the conversation you start with yourself. So that's a challenge if you never had a real conversation with yourself. Let's say it like this. And for all the beginner artists out there, my number one tip is start with this conversation as soon as possible. This is the only thing I regret by starting relatively late with drawing, is that I think, and I made a video about this called Artist Age, because I truly believe in that. When you start with art, you start with H1, right? And you learn your things and you continue and continue and continue and continue. And at some point you mature, and the things you're interested in, they also change. And the things you inspire you, they also change. And the more you do this, the better it gets. So that's why like all these amazing artists, when you ask them, they make art for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you know? So that's why they're so interesting. So yeah. So that's why I think it's really important to always look for the things that you're interested as a person, who you are, what makes you, what's your story, like even your experiences, trying to draw them, you know, things that you've seen, that you lived through. That's why always carrying a sketchbook is so important. And I think that makes you unique, by the way, because only you can be you. I have to open the window again because the camera gives me a warning signal about the heat. Yeah, no, Samuel, the heat in my room, not in Berlin. The problem is, like I just opened also the curtains in my back, but my heater, which is on 0 right now, but it's an oil heater. So when I turn it on, the room gets hot very fast, which is amazing. Problem is, camera also gets warm. And if it goes warm, it goes off. And we just had this already in the stream today. Woodstock, Ontario. Ooh, nice. Never been to Canada. I'm 49 and looking to level up. I've been working on Broken DOS fundamentals a lot lately, but I want to go pro and need help with getting together my skills and build a portfolio. Well, yeah, I mean, go on the website, fill everything out on the intro chat, and what is also great when you can send, I would say, 5 to 10 pieces of work that you just produced over the past weeks or days. Like the best things you produced, drawing, painting, if you have like a variety, would be amazing. Then I can see. It's never too late, by the way. Like age is just a number. Like my mom started becoming an artist when she was 40, and working in games, entertainment, or movies it's a matter of skill. It's a skill set that you can learn. Took me 4.5 years. I taught people who just needed 1.5 years to reach that. So it's a question of time and effort, if you ask me. I don't know what neighbor is your studio, but mine's cold. It's cold. Yeah, outside is cold. I just opened the window. It's -degrees. Thanks. Honestly, I keep mindlessly drawing, trying to learn, not thinking about what I've like or who I am. I should do that. You should do that every day. Because that is what makes art special, if you ask me. We have a big problem right now with social media that everyone is doing the same stuff in a way, you know? And I think if you're welcome, you're welcome. You're welcome. No worries. I think if you are really seriously trying to become an artist, the question is never money. The question is, and I'm talking about like artistry, right? Not service-based. I'm talking about the artistry. I think then it's really important to figure out what makes you unique. And to a certain point, of course, you look at stuff, what you like, and you should learn from it. But your own inner voice is always the most important voice on the table. So that's why it's important to always ask yourself, okay, I like JJK, for example. Why do I like JJK? Do I like the dark grunginess behind? Do I like the storytelling? Do I like the art style? Why do I like the art style? What is it inside? Do I like the contrast of like flashiness and darkness, demons? What am I interested in? What do I read? What did I enjoy when I was a kid? What do I enjoy right now? Even like what I love about Dong-ho Kim, by the way. Everyone who don't know who Dong-ho Kim is, definitely check him out. He's amazing. He's really cool, but he's really amazing. I love that he draws food. He draws ramen. Like he loves ramen. And this is something that only Dong-ho is doing. Because he loves it and he just draws and he doesn't give a damn about whatever anyone thinks about it. And this is how it should be, you know? Not like doing the 50s drawing that trying to look like Kim Young-ji drawing in a way, you know? That is, I think it's cool. I think it's cool if you can do that. But it's not really interesting because when I want to look at Kim Young-ji, I look at Kim Young-ji, you know? I don't look at Kim Young-ji copycat 55, whatever. And I tried it myself, you know. I tried to learn from that. I study it, but I also try to go away as much as I can from it again, just doing my own stuff. So everyone should go back to their own. Have a good one, Janos. I'm heading to your website. Have a look. Yeah, thanks for being here. Have a nice day. And if you don't sign up, good luck with your career. I'm rooting for you, okay? Just believe in yourself. I believe in you. I believe that you can do that if you take it 100% serious, okay? So wherever you go, just follow your instinct, okay? All right, let's draw a bit more. I feel like today is really a lot of talking. Hey Lewis, welcome to the stream. Hey Janosch, what's your dream as an artist? Wow, that's a deep question. What's my dream as an artist? I think my dream as an artist is to be able to accept the art that I produce and accept and also forgive my own mistakes that I'm doing while producing, I would say my dream as an artist is to build up a life where I freely create the things that I want to create while supporting everyone in my circle, if that makes any sense. Like I never want to be in a state where I don't do anything that I don't like doing, because right now I'm doing whatever I want to do, right? And I really love that, and I have like a lot of creative energy, but still I didn't found how to channel it into, I wouldn't say an IP, but like into something concrete. So yeah, that's kind of like what I do. I want to find a way to channel my artistic voice into something more concrete. How about you? And thanks for the question, Luis. Hey Ned, how's it going? Why don't my message show up? I don't know. You're banned. No, you're not, but I don't know. I don't know why. Sorry, just quickly answering your message. My level of badness is a golden retriever trying to be mean. Again, you should do stand-up. Still my opinion. How was your week, Nat? How's the comic business going? You're like the 20th person to tell me that. Yeah, so just do it. We actually had a colleague when I was working in games. She was the funniest. She was very, very outgoing, and you could always feel like when she's talking, she should be on a stage doing cracking jokes because she was constantly cracking jokes. It's kind of like it's like making breathing air to your profession, if you ask me. So why wouldn't you do it, you know? Let me actually check the Twitch chat. Okay, everything's fine there. Hey, GSWAGASZ. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? My French is not good enough for that, actually. How good need French to be? You just have to make long breaks, and you just drop parce que every third word, you know? And then you say a bit of je m'en fous in between parce que, and then you do like the heavy breathing, you know, like and that's your communication. That's how my family communicates. Oh no, what have I done? Please, no French, no French in the chat, please. Please don't. Let's keep it English for everyone. The reverse snake, yeah. I mean, like, do you know the video? Where they show like the word vert, like what it means, you know, like there's so many things that are called vert, and then the person's just say vert. It's too late, you're triggering me. Oh, Samuel, please don't. Don't. Sorry. My bad. I apologize, Samuel. Come back to the other side. Nat, do you also speak Spanish, by the way? I know you speak Portuguese, but can you also speak Spanish? I was wondering if you can.